Welcome back, viewers at home, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, with September being Alopecia Areata Awareness Month, it is a perfect time for us to deepen our knowledge and understanding around all things, alopecia, so that we can continue to support those who are living with this condition of alopecia. And for that, I am so delighted to be joined by Dr. Bibi Aysha Bhabha, who is the co-founder of Dr. Bhabha Aesthetics and a renowned expert in hair loss treatment, particularly alopecia. And she's at the forefront of ensuring people regain their confidence and feel comfortable in their skins. And tonight she will share a comprehensive knowledge and innovative approaches to hair loss management. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Jazakallah, so much for joining us this evening.
Only a pleasure to be with you. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, shukr. I can just find out from you, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Now, coming into this condition, alopecia, and you can only imagine, Muslim ladies who are suffering in silence. After all, maybe they're wearing a hijab and, they don't get to be seen or get to be exposed like that. You can only wonder what they're going through. And I think, Doctor, this gives us an ample opportunity for us to understand basically in terms of what is alopecia, as well as how does it differ from other forms of hair loss.
Okay. Alopecia is the term for hair loss. So alopecia is hair loss. And then alopecia is there. You then get the different types of alopecia. So you get female and male pattern baldness. That's where you get a generalized baldness. Men notice a lack of hair around their crown, and ladies notice that their path is becoming wider. Right? So that's the first type. The second type of alopecia is called alopecia areata. This type of alopecia is almost like an autoimmune alopecia, and it's round circles that you find. So you find round patches, circular patches of hair loss in your scalp. And even it can happen in the beard area. Then you get a type called telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium is when the body goes underneath some kind of stress. That stress then causes the hair to fall. And then you get anagen effluvium. And anagen effluvium is a type of hair loss that, due to stress, medication, any kind of condition that somebody can go through, and the hair starts falling in the first stage of hair loss. So those are the 5 different kinds of hair loss that we get, or alopecias that we get.
And is there a telltale sign that, someone can sort of see in terms of, or rather an indicative sign that can allow someone to understand that actually they are experiencing some type of alopecia?
Okay, so telltale sign will be excessive hair on your brush, excessive hair on your scarf, excessive hair on your musala when you're reading salah. When you're in the shower, you find that the drain becomes blocked, so more hair that you're shedding. Losing about 120 hairs a day is normal, but losing more than that is not normal. So if you see your brush has too much of hair, or when you're rinsing your hair out in the shower, there's too much of hair in the shower drains, then those are telltale signs. So before you start noticing the wide path in the females, or the balding around the crown for males, or the hair thinning, you notice that your hair is falling a lot more.
And now seeing that alopecia can actually be caused by various factors, from that of genetics to autoimmune disorders, can you kindly walk us through some of the most common causes and risk factors of alopecia?
Your common Okay, so in your male pattern balding, that's where it's the most common cause is genetic. In ladies, genetic plays a very small role, but you do get genetic hair loss. In ladies, I would your we have to go. So first, you have to be of generalized good health. So when you come in, what we do is we do blood tests, and we check your vitamin status, your thyroid, we check your estrogen, we check whether you're menopausal, perimenopausal, your levels of your estrogen, your iron levels, your zinc levels, folate and vitamin B12, because all of these need to be at optimal levels for your hair to grow its best.
Okay.
And then your autoimmune, so we have to screen for autoimmune diseases and check whether you do have any autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, any one of those which can cause, but we have to do a full. So before, when your hair is falling, the first important thing for us to do is do a medical check before we start treating you for your hair loss. We must find the cause before we treat. We don't just blindly start saying, oh, hair loss, let's start treating.
Oh, okay. And then how do you determine the best approach of treatment for each individual? Is this based on the tests that can predict the type of treatment the person undergoes, or sometimes it can
Okay,
be on
first it
the.
will be on history. So,
Mm,
first, when you come in for your doctor's consultation, we'll take a deep, in depth history about your lifestyle changes, the food that you eat, the vitamins that you take, the vitamins that you don't take, the vitamins that you stop taking, whether you've changed your diet, whether you've had excessive weight gain, whether you've had excessive weight loss, whether you've tried to lose weight excessively in this last few months preceding the hair loss. So
mm,
we first start with a history, then we start with the examination, see where the hair is. We see, look at your scalp. When we look at your scalp, we look at your hair as well. And when we look at your hair, we check the porosity of the hair, we check the strand of the hair, we check whether the hair shaft is broken, not broken. We check whether there's heat damage to the hair or no heat damage to the hair. Then we check the scalp, because the scalp where the hair grows is like sand. If you have good fertile sand, then you get good fertile growth of vegetables or fruits or any kind of plant. So same way, the scalp needs to be well nourished, well taken care of. So we do a good examination of the scalp to see whether the scalp has any kind of fungal infection, bacterial infection, whether it's dry, whether it's extra oily, whether there's any kind of buildup that's preventing the hair from growing. Then we go and do the blood test, the basic blood test, like your vitamin screening, your autoimmune screening, and your full blood count to see whether you are healthy and normal.
hmm,
And if there's any vitamin deficiencies, then we will supplement this vitamin deficiencies. Another thing is we do a full dietary history. Protein is very important for hair growth. So we check your protein intake for the day. And your protein should be about approximately between 70 and 80 grams in an individual.
Quite interesting aspects, doctor, that you just highlighted now. And this makes me just wonder in terms of alopecia treatment and diagnosis. Is there one form of treatment, or there's like a variety of treatments that are available for individuals struggling with alopecia?
Well, it will all depend on each individual. So you
Mm,
could have only have a vitamin D deficiency
yeah.
because you in full hijab, you don't go out in the sun, your hair doesn't see sun, your body doesn't see sun. In your case, we need to or your body's not absorbing and turning, making vitamin D. So like I said, we have to check your iron levels, vitamin D, thyroid, vitamin B, folate, all of that, fix that. After we fix that, then we can go into deeper treatments. So then we can go into localized treatments. And localized treatments is where we can do PRP treatments, we can do exosomes. Well, there's lots of different things, but each person's treatment is tailor made for them.
Hmm.
And
And
then
how?
obviously,
Yeah. So you may proceed, doctor. Apologies.
and there's another hormone called dihydrotestosterone, which is called DHT. DHT causes the hair shaft or the hair root to die. And we then do a supplement for DHT to supplement your we inhibit this DHT hormone, and that is a localized hormone in the scalp. So if we suppress this hormone, we allow for hair to grow nicer, so and allow to grow healthier. And that will be, I see you've put a picture up, and just there at the shaft, the DHT acts just where the hair starts coming out of the scalp, and we give you a tablet and we give you a topical treatment to stimulate hair growth and kill that DHT.
Mm. And with that being said, and it makes me just to ask you, doctor, prematurely so to say, we oftenly find that when one person has been diagnosed and is undergoing treatment, is that when a relative or friend is like, okay, I'm experiencing the same thing, we tend to share those treatments to say, okay, I'm using this and it's working for me, you should try it. What would be your message to individuals who actually do that?
That does work because usually the hair loss treatments are a generalized blanket treatment.
Hmm.
When I'm talking about the multivitamins that you go and you buy things like Program or
Yeah.
Neutrino or something like that, those are blanket treatments. So yes, it will help you to a point because it will give you your supplement, but it won't give you that luscious locks that you're looking for again, because that is tailor made.
Mm.
But but it will work.
Hmm. And how do you address the emotional and psychological impact of alopecia on your patients?
By first telling them that hair loss can be reversed in most cases, especially female pattern hair loss can be reversed, where if we give you optimal health, we can grow your hair.
Hmm. And now,
And that's how we deal with the and also we, we teach them how to care for their hair and hair care, scalp care. And within 3 to 6 months, your hair can start, you can start having the fine fuzz again, and your hair start growing a bit better.
hmm. And now seeing that technology exists and it's been integrated in so many facets of our life, not just socially but also health wise, in terms of the many technological advancement that exist. And this makes me ask, what emerging technologies and techniques are you particularly excited about for the future of alopecia treatment?
We're very excited about stem cell treatment. We're very excited about the new exosomes for hair loss, red light therapy, the DHT blockers, which are more topical and more directed to the hair follicle. So there's lots of new things that are out and lots of exciting things that are out that that can make this hair loss journey into regrowing your hair, and it can be more beneficial. In some cases, we even avoiding people from going for, they don't have to go back for a hair transplant. They can grow back their hair.
Hmm. And now September being a month that, raises awareness around alopecia areata awareness, a global campaign dedicated to increasing, understanding and reducing the stigma associated with alopecia. How important do you think it is to raise awareness around this condition?
Alopecia areata it's a condition that when you see this kind of hair loss,
Mm,
the quicker you go to your healthcare practitioner and you start getting treatment for it, the quicker you will respond, and it can be reversed.
mm,
If you take too long to treat alopecia areata especially, then it can be irreversible.
hmm. And the idea of it being irreversible, what does that mean for that individual?
It's almost like a scarring kind of, I described it as the first one that you notice where you have circular losses of hair, circular patches of hair loss.
Mm,
And it's because it's got an autoimmune component, or it's got an inflammatory component. And if we can reverse this inflammation before it completely kills the hair root, then your hair can grow back. So it's so important that the minute you notice this kind of hair loss, go and see your doctor.
And doctor, also just something to ask in terms of how do we play our part in terms of supporting those who are, facing the struggle of, alopecia in that sense. How do we best support them? What can we do?
Not to be judgmental, not to stay.
Doctor, any closing remarks around our conversation around, all things alopecia?
Hair loss or alopecia can be reversed. The quicker you go and see somebody who's well trained in this kind of field, you can reverse and grow your hair back, whether you're wearing a hijab or not wearing a hijab. And we have different kind of hair loss. So we get the acute management phase where you have your acute treatment for acute hair loss, and we also got maintenance treatment. So you have a good crop of hair, but you don't want your hair to start falling, so you come in and we teach you how to keep that hair healthy and luscious for a
Mm.
long time to come.
Hmm. After all, they say prevention is better than
It's
having to
better than
cure.
cure.
Yes. Jazakallah so much, Doctor, for joining us tonight and really educating us around all things alopecia and urging us to be more supportive, less judgmental, and not staring. Jazakallah so much.
With pleasure. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers at home, that was the co founder of Dr. Bhabha Aesthetics and a renowned expert in hair loss treatment, particularly alopecia. That was Dr. Bibi Aysha Bhabha. Viewers at home, hope that conversation was quite educational and inspiring to all the viewers out there, including myself. But for now, let's head over to an ad break. We'll see you just after this.